Hello, I would like to welcome you all to this video where I'm going to demonstrate how to install the MySQL community server on a macOS environment. So first thing is we need to visit the website of MySQL. You will find it under mysql.com. In this web page, we will find almost everything. This is the central point of reference for anything that you would like to find from documentation, downloads, or any other information. So let's visit the downloads, and we will be redirected to the products that we can either try for free or purchase under a commercial license. In this program, we are going to work almost everything under the MySQL Community Edition. So let's click on the MySQL Community Edition to see what we can download. MySQL Community is the version of MySQL that MySQL offers under a license that is not commercial. So we can use it, we can practice, and we can also use it for some non-commercial activities. So here in this page, you will see in the right side that we have some connectors, some libraries that we have to use when we program in some programming language like Java or C++ or .NET. However, we're not going to practice in that level in our program. We are going to practice only on SQL connected to the database. So what we need for the initial steps is the community server. So here from the list to the left, we click on the MySQL community server, we select that, and then we are redirected to the page where we need to define some options. As you can see, the first thing that we see is the version that is, the latest one is 8.3.0, and it is the latest version that is deployed here for the public. However, in the archives tab, we can find all the previous versions from 8.2 till, if we scroll down, till the earliest ever version, like 4, 5, and so on. The reason that we might need to download some earlier version is maybe sometimes we work for a legacy environment, a system that uses some older version of MySQL, or legacy software that has been compiled with a compiler that does not support, let's say, recent developments of MySQL. So in any case, if we work for some environment that requires a legacy version, then we can download that from here. So let's get back to the latest version. So in any case, we pick for training reasons or for practicing. Usually we select the latest version. So the latest one is 8.3.0, okay, as you can see here. Then we select the operating system. We have, as I said, the macOS environment. And then we need to pick what is the version. If it is Intel-based, I mean the processor is Intel-based or ARM. Now, if you're not sure what to pick here because you see a set of files that is different for ARM and X for Intel, one way to find it is to click here at the top of the left of your page, selecting the About This Mac. And here you will see from the system report what is the type of your processor. As you can see here, the chip in my computer is Apple M2, and this means that my processor is ARM. So if you see here M1 or M2 under the chip, then you pick from the installation here, you select the ARM. If you see something writing Intel, then you select the x86. Okay, so for the moment, I pick the ARM, the 64-bit. So the next thing is which file to pick. Well, usually we pick the DMG. As you can see, it's roughly 0.5 GB. So it will take a few seconds to download that. So let's wait for a few seconds to download. And as I said, we can also have a look on the archives if we're interested to download older versions, or if we go back to the central page for the community server, we can also see that we have some utilities. One of the utilities that we will also download in a next, and I will show you in the subsequent video, is the MySQL Workbench. This is the environment that we use in order to administer and develop some applications or perform or execute SQL scripts. Another utility that is, I would say, useful is the MySQL shell. So it is a command line environment where we can connect and execute some SQL scripting. And usually it is for the, let's say, the more experienced developers or the administrators. So I can see that my file is already downloaded. So as I said, it's pretty fast. So let's double click that and see what's going on. Now, we see the packets downloaded. So let's double click that. And now the process to install it begins. Yes, I let the installer install all the packages in my computer. So you see that this screen opens. I click the continue button here. Well, usually we don't read the license, to be honest, because it's pretty lengthy. However, have a look on that. It's sometimes you know, we might, I mean, especially when we work for a commercial purpose, then we have to read all the you know all the terms and conditions in order to avoid any penalties from the company. Because if the software says here that we are not allowed to use it for commercial purposes, then it's something that we need to avoid. Okay, so let's have a look on that. So let me check that. Okay, I'm just rearranging the windows. Okay, press the continue. Yes, I agree with that. If I want to change, or if you want to change the installation location, you can click that, but well, it's not really necessary to do so. Let's move on to the installation. Here, I need to provide the password for my computer, for my account. So it's not something that has to do with the MySQL itself, but it is the password of my account. Now, here you can see that we have a selection between a strong password or a weaker password. Let's pick the strong password, which means that we need to define, let's say, 8 characters, mix letters, numbers, and other characters. So when we use it for our training, well, we don't actually care so much about, you know, strong authentication. So we can write something that it's easy to memorize, because keep in mind that if you forget, you know, the root password, root is the, you know, the top level user. If you forget the password, then you will have some difficulty to, you know, find it and replace that. So just for the initial, you know, initial phase, just use something that you can memorize, or you can write it down to, you know, find it easier. Okay, that's my password, 8 letters. I wrote something easy. Now, you can see here a button saying that you can select to start MySQL server when you complete the installation or not. Let's keep it like that. Finish. Again, the password, you will see that is something that I need to enter a lot of times. Let's wait for the installation to be over. That's pretty fast. And let's finalize that. Yeah, why not remove the installer to the garbage bin? Okay, now let's get back to the community download. So everything here is fine. So for the moment and for the needs of this video, we don't need to download something more. Now, let's have a look on, as soon as we have installed that, let's see how we can verify that the installation is over. So if I open a terminal window, and if you are not so sure on how to open a terminal window on Mac, then you can have a look here. You can search for the terminal here in the Launchpad, and you can open that. Okay, so this is a terminal window where we can check whether the process, okay, the MySQL process is up and running. We're talking about system process right now. So if I type here the top command and press the enter, you can see that we have the entire list of the processes that are up and running in my Mac system. So somewhere here, I'm just very quickly, I'm not doing some system administration here, but you can identify, you can have a look on the MySQL D. So when you see the MySQL D, the daemon, then you're pretty sure that everything went pretty fine. So how do I exit that? By pressing Control-C. All right. Now, another thing that we will definitely need is that we need to define what is our starting point. So in the system here, preferences, when we finish the installation, we will see here the MySQL pane at the bottom. So if we click that, you will see that we have this panel opening. Now you see a green circle indicating that the server is up and running, and we saw that it is up and running. We can stop the MySQL server, or we can start it. Just to clarify that we're talking about the process, a system process that we can start and stop like all the other processes in our system. We can also have the option to initiate the process automatically upon when we restart our system. We can initialize databases. Let's do that right now. Again, we need to set a password for our database, for our root user, the admin, the super user. Okay. Again, my computer account password. Press the OK. And the initialization, I assume it has been performed. Let's restart the server. Okay. We can uninstall if we want, but for the moment, we don't want it. So if you are not so sure about what's going on, you can, install, uninstall. You can perform all the steps again and again. Now, here in the pane, we can also have the configuration tab where we can identify where is our files in our system. So the base directory of the installation is usr/local/mysql. Okay, so we can see where our data are stored here under the data folder, the base directory, and all the rest. Now, we might probably change that, but it's not really required. Now, let's get back to the terminal window, and let's see whether we can connect to our database. Yes, we can do that by typing here the MySQL command. If we press enter, then you will see that it's not found. Yeah, the reason for that is that when we install the server, it was not added in the path automatically. So one way to do that is to type alias, create an alias for MySQL. Okay, and set it to this path. Okay, usr local MySQL. So /usr/local/MySQL, being because this is where our executable files are, and /MySQL. Okay, so I repeat, because when we install the entire server, there's no direct link to the path, then we need to define that manually like that. So if we press the enter here, now, if we repeat the MySQL, then you will see that, sorry, MySQL, the -u, sorry, again. So yeah, the one reason is that we need to stop and start again the terminal. So let's do that again and repeat that. So -u is the user, that is root, and -p is the password. Again, probably we missed something here. So let's repeat the process. Okay, so alias, let's make it more carefully. Alias MySQL equals to /usr/local. Probably I missed something there. USR local, MySQL/bin/MySQL. So let's check that again and let's rerun that. And as you can see, yeah, it's pretty fine. Now let's enter the password that we defined previously. And here it's the magic. We are connected to MySQL. So what can we do here? As you can see, the prompt for MySQL is shown. But you might wonder why we see Oracle here. As soon as we're talking about MySQL, we see Oracle. Yeah, it's something that has to do with the history of MySQL. Right now, Oracle is a company that owns the MySQL, but that's another story. You can find the history. You can search what is it, the history behind MySQL. So let's try to show the databases just to demonstrate whether everything works fine. So show databases, semicolon, enter. Yeah, that's it. So everything runs smoothly. We install the MySQL community server. We are ready to create databases, to run SQL commands, to do anything. So for the moment, that's the scope of this video, to show you how to install and how to connect to MySQL community server. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. So hope to see you in the next videos. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.